Hi everyone, it's Kimberly from His Palette, and today I wanted to work on a mixed media page in my Bible. But what I wanted to show you is a way to kind of use some of the steps that I use, some of the techniques I use in my Interleaf Bible that has a completely blank page. I wanted to show you how to use those same techniques in your Bibles with margins. So this is my illustrating Bible, the Luke edition, and I did prep it with gesso before we started. What I did here is I did a clear coat, and then I did white coat, and just kind of brought it to where the words are. Even where the white gesso goes into the words, it's still transparent, so you can still read any of the words. And then I did a couple of white coats of white gesso there, and did another coat of clear gesso just to make it really good and thick, because I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do today and how much layering I was going to do. So, if you caught my live over at the Creative Worship Bible Journaling Facebook page, care of Sweet and Sassy Stamps, I used a lot of blue and yellow and gold. And I would like to continue that here, obviously just in a different sort of way. So here we have, let's see, we have Luke, oh goodness, I think it's Luke 3, and it's like verses 21 through 37. And so what this is here is the baptism and the genealogy of Jesus. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a page, and the title of the page is going to be His Family Tree, since essentially it gives us a breakdown of Jesus's family tree. So first things first, I want to show you, I have some trash here, some ribbon, a lot of different things, you know, old game pieces. This is a piece done by Sue Johnson of Well of Blessings, and she did this on her gel plate, and she sent this to me because I really liked it. So I want to utilize this in the entire idea of Jesus's family tree. And so I have a bunch of things that are, you know, golds and oranges and yellows and blues. So let's see. First thing first, I'm thinking if I want to do texture paste first. Okay, let's start with this antique linen. Tim Holtz Distress Spray Stain. It's not the oxide, it's the stain. So I'm going to spray that. We're just kind of giving it a yellowing, distress kind of look. So it looks more vintage, since I have a few vintage pieces here, and I think that's what I need to be going for. So I'm going to dry it a little bit, and then I'll take any of the excess off with a paper towel. And actually, a little bit more there. There we go. And so I'm drying it just enough where some of that bottom layer of spray will dry onto the page. And so when I pick it up, the excess up with a paper towel, it will not take everything up. It will still have some of that color beneath it. And I like the look with this antique linen spray. I like the look where it looks old and like things were spilled on it. And just that grungy, kind of old, messed up look. But that's what I'm going for. So let's see what we have. Kind of pull some of that excess up real lightly, because we don't want to take it all up, obviously. Okay. And I'm going to give it another shot with the heat gun. And so the whole reason for me showing you how to use these techniques with your wide margin Bibles is because I know not everybody has an interleaf Bible with a blank page in between every Bible page, and I don't want you to feel like you have to cover the words if you don't want to. I am a firm believer that Bible journaling is 100% customizable, and you shouldn't do anything that makes you uncomfortable. You know, we are worshiping the Lord with our creativity here, and this is supposed to make us feel good and build our relationship and grow in the Lord. And we can't do that if we're feeling bad about what we're doing. So this is what we're doing today. Okay. So that's mostly dry. So let me go through some of this. Oh, I like that. So let me kind of show you the palette that I'm working with. And I'm going to use some of these pages. This is, I believe, a background piece done by Jeanette Simmons that I purchased off of her. And I want to utilize that somewhere in here as well. So I like this orange right here. So I think I'm just going to rip a bit off. I always like to rip the any kind of extra white around the border off. I'm not a super fan of, straight lines. Actually, that I think I'm going to keep. Let's see. So, with that, again, I don't want it to go over the Bible words. So I'm going to place that right there. Just going to use a glue stick. And then we're going to line up what straight edge I have there to the side of the page. Perfect. Now I did want to use a little bit of this because I really like the colors in this. So again, I'm just going to rip a piece off. And then we'll work with it once I have a piece here going. So maybe I'm going to put that down there. And if you've seen any of my my past lives or YouTube videos, then you know I cover and I cover, and sometimes you don't even see these bottom layers. I mean, I always hope that I don't end up covering them completely, but that's not always the case. So then I have this great shiny wrinkly page. I think I got it from, I'm not sure, Hobby Lobby or Michael's. Cut around it. I don't have any straight edges. I should say I'm going to rip around it. I think this, I'm going to kind of put going this way. We're just going to overlap some different paper. And then I'm going to grab this one as well. And then we are going to, whoops, start adding some paint and things. So let's see. Oh yeah, I like that down there. And again, I'm just trying to overlap. So I'm going to overlap that and go all the way to the bottom. So then what I'd like to do, let's see, what are we going to do next? I think we are going to use some vintage white from Folk Art. And any cream, ivory, vintage white will work. And this time I'm just going to kind of scrape it around to try to get some of this white gesso on here not to be so bright. And I'm using a palette knife. There we go. And I'm careful not to cover the words of the Bible, because again, we are trying to do all of the mixed media in the margin. There we go. So I'm going to dry that a little bit before I put another color of paint on. And you can obviously use whatever set of colors that you'd like. I mean, if you want to use pastels or primaries or whatever you're feeling at the time. I am using the blue and gold and yellows because on the live that I did over on Creative Worship, I had a lot of extra stuff that I pulled for that project, and I thought, maybe I can do another project using up all these pieces and medians that I pulled. So that's what we're doing. And you'll see here with the antique linen Tim Holtz spray, it's not gonna cover the words of the Bible. It's completely transparent. You can see right through it. I think I want to do some of this Jane Davenport blue. Unfortunately, there are no names on these. Not quite sure why. Okay, so we're going to go. And I'm just kind of getting it around the page. I'm going to do the side here a little bit. Oh, yeah, that's great. Goodness. Just kind of go all the way up. There we go. And I think I want to do across here, even though it's not technically the margin. I'd like to get some blue there. And then maybe some right underneath here. Okay. I'm gonna wipe that off. And let's try to dry that a little bit. And if you missed my live over on the Creative Worship Bible Journaling Facebook page in the group there, make sure you go over there and catch it. We worked with one of his palette printables, the Angels monochrome, and worked with a lot of the same techniques and methods we're using right now. And I think you might enjoy that. And for those of you who haven't caught one of my lives or one of my videos before, you may be saying at this point, what is she doing? And I have no doubt I said the same thing when I was first introduced to mixed media. The great thing about mixed media is you put layer upon layer, and every layer that you put on, the idea is for it to give it, each layer gives it a better look. So at this stage, when we are early in our layers, it kind of looks like a hot mess with no rhyme or reason. But it will get better, I promise. Okay, so now that I got a little bit of paint on there, I want to grab some more of my papers. I'm going to grab this, and I think what I want to do with this, I think I want to do something up here, maybe. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I'm just going to pull off this wording and cut those straight ends. Let me see. This I can do a little more because it's covering the words. Let's see. Oh, perfect. So, grab my glue. Okay, I'm going to do this upside down because we don't really need to read it. I think I might put one over here as well. I think I'm going to utilize the word masterpiece. Okay, maybe right there. Actually, I'm going to overlap a couple pieces. There we go. So I'm thinking, again, this and possibly this will be the last pieces I add to kind of give it a tree look. Oh, here we go. So I grabbed this ticket. It's got oranges and blues in it. Let's see if I can get it off the backing. Oh, there we go. Perfect. And it's a sticker, so that works out well. And then I had a couple different ones that I thought might go well. Maybe this one. See how it has like that rust orange in it? There we go. And then that one, maybe I will have here, and I'm gonna have it hanging off the edge of the page, because that's always a nice look. And we'll trim that right off. There you go. Actually, this one I can use then over here. And then I'm not covering the words. Okay. So what I'd like to do now is spray it a little bit with this Krylon Sealer, and what that will help do is it will help to seal it so this antique linen spray doesn't go all over the place. It'll seal it, but it'll still be workative. So that means that we'll still be able to work with that layer, but it won't be the mixing of colors and things will not be as excessive. And I really like to get all of my layers really dry. I guess so it doesn't mess up any future layers. I know I had an issue with that when I first started to mix media, as I wasn't drying my layers, and so the next time I tried to do the layer above that one, it somehow would mess up or mix or come off. So let's see what else I have. So I have this gold that I think might work out. Let's see. And so at this stage, I am literally just working on the background. And so we're just building layers for our background. This isn't going to be what we're focused on. Oops. Okay, there's that. Let's see, maybe this kind of gold taupe looking fabric. We can add to it. Let's see. Wonder if this will rip. Oh no. Yeah, that's too strong. That's not going to rip. So what we'll do is we will cut it, and then we will pull on the edge, and you can see now, if you compare this edge to this edge, this is all messy and it's got little frills. So it doesn't look like a perfect cut. Again, nothing that we're doing here do we want to look too perfect. So let's see. Do here, maybe right there. Oh, I think right there. So again, I'm going to glue that, but I think I'm going to put the glue on the page instead. Oops. I'm going to have it coming, if you can see, a little bit off the page, because I like my mixed media to kind of show when my Bible is closed. Okay, let's do, I'm going to put a little gold around, gold acrylic. And again, I'm going to use my trusty palette knife. I like to take acrylic and go over fabric. I think it looks, gives it a good, to me, a good messy look, because the paint almost looks like it was accidentally placed on the fabric, when in fact we meant to do that. Let's see. Get some up here. And what I'm doing, after I get it in the spots that I'm really wanting it, I kind of go over these blank areas and just kind of rub the little excess off on that. It won't hurt anything because, of course, we are either going to cover it or it'll end up really working because we're using the colors of our theme, if you will. So let's see. Do I want some of this yellow? I think or not yellow, it's, well, yellow oxide. To me, it's mustard. I'll use a little bit of that just to give some more places color. And again, I'm kind of shaking my palette knife so it's not really neat. You know, I want it to, my mixed media is a very messy mixed media. Okay, that should be good for now. Okay, so let's give that a little shot. And because we are moving the acrylic paint around, and we're not really scraping it like you do with a credit card or gift card, it takes a minute to dry. I know those of you who've done the card scraping know that that will dry almost immediately. But this takes a minute because we're putting it on thicker. Now I just remembered, I wonder if this is going to be, I thought this was more of a rest. It is, but I feel like it matches the mustard too much. Okay, so let's see with this if I can add some marks in there and color. I'm going to actually put water over some of this to spread it around a bit, to use it more as a water color. No. And then maybe a couple blacks. Okay. Now let me grab just a small brush to kind of spread that color around. So I'm going to spread the blue around a little bit. Get all those areas. Clean the brush. And we're going to go to that peach area. And if you can see the peach coming over here, because it's water soluble, you can see, again, it's transparent and you can see through it. Let's see how these blacks turn out. Oh yeah, that gives it, I don't know, it gives it a kick to me. And again, we're going to dry this layer. Now, another technique that I often use is I make a mix, a gesso and water mix. I dilute the white gesso so I can go over areas I don't like and push back things more into the background. And I'm gonna do something similar here. Oops, I just saw one. I didn't do that one. I'm gonna do the same thing here, except I'm gonna use some type of beige or cream colored paint and water instead of the gesso, since that's more our palette. White really isn't the palette that we're working with. And again, anything that we use with water, it's going to take a little longer to dry. Okay. That actually might be plenty. Okay, let's see. So here's my little mixing bowl. And I'm gonna grab going to grab this toasted vanilla and see if that might work a little better, since it's just a little darker than the vintage white. Oh, there we go. Okay. And then, let's see, maybe I can just pour this in. Let me do it away from the desk. Okay, and as you can see, I've got about 3 times as much paint as I do, or as much water as I do paint. And I just want to mix this up, obviously to the side, because I'm a messy artist, and I have a tendency to spill everything, so don't want this over the Bible. Okay, so let's see. Now, what we're going to do with this is we're going to put a light, I like to call it like a dusting, where we're just patting the page to kind of make some of this stuff a little less in your face, you know, a little less obvious. So then when we put our main, our tree, or the thing that we're using as a tree, it won't get taken over by this background. So, what do I want? Okay, there. I'm going to dry this and then maybe go over it again. And this is going to take a minute to dry, so let me fast forward this part. Okay, so I have decided that I am not a super fan of the toasted vanilla. So I am going to grab the vintage white, and I'm going to put a little bit on there just to cover up some of that just too beige yellow color. And then we're going to put some texture paste on it, and as a layer, and then add some more on top of that. There's some pieces over here that I really want to be on one of the last couple of layers, because I do not want them covered. Okay, so actually I'm going to grab the texture paste now, because that can totally mix with that shade. And I'm going to go over some pieces of this page to give it some texture. Oops, didn't mean to go over those. Here we go. And then just a little bit that I have on here, I'm going to kind of go around the page so it doesn't just have texture paste in those couple spots that I put it. Okay. Okay. Now I definitely have to dry at this point. That texture paste has to be dry to the touch if I want to work on top of it. So we need to dry it more than just, you know, a light blast of heat. Sorry, I have the sniffles. I think it's just from allergies, thankfully. If you're new to mixed media, you'll see that you can still see some of these first layers that I put down. You know, some of them are partially covered or painted on, but they're still peeking through. And that's kind of one of your goals with the mixed media, is especially when you put down a layer that you like, you want to be sure that you try to get it to continue to peek through the additional layers. You might notice, I don't know if this happens to all texture paste, but when I dry it with a lot of heat, certain thicker areas expand, kind of blow up, and I actually like that look. You may not, and if you don't, just make sure you're drying it up here instead of down here. Okay. So at this stage, I'm thinking I want some more blue, and I'm gonna add some more of this. Let me double check. Oh, I should probably dry that a little more. Sometimes it seems dry enough, but if you don't touch it and double check, then when you put down your next medium, you could just be pulling that right off the page. Okay, let's hope that's dry enough. So, one of the things that I did on this last live with, you know, pretty much these same elements is I laid some paint down and then I sprayed it. Well, I put some water on it with a brush and then I sprayed it with water. And what that will do is it will spread the blue paint out and give it a look that's not really uniformed. So I just want to keep that wet for now. So I'm gonna, oh goodness, I'm gonna put it on my 2 areas with the most texture paste. That's what I'm gonna do. Whoops. Got that. I'm gonna do over here. Okay, I'm gonna put this on top. Or drop it. So I got it all over myself. Let me clean myself up a little bit. And then what you want to do is you want to have a paper towel handy because you're going to spray this. And see how it spreads? You're going to spray it, but you're going to want to probably come back to it and get some of the, you don't probably want all this blue. So you're going to want to take some of it back with the paper towel. So like all the bits by the words I'm trying to take out because again I don't want anything covering my words. And I'm going to shoot that with my heat gun. And so this is almost ready, the background part of this page. I think I'll do 1 or 2 more steps to it. And then we will add the title. And we will add the tree-looking ephemera that I have. So I think I want to add possibly a couple pieces of this paper because it has the blue and the gold and I really like this pattern. And then I am going to put some more gold on, but kind of overlap it. So, for instance, maybe I want to do this a little bit. And my glue. And what this piece of paper actually is wallpaper. Oh, goodness. Okay, so here, maybe do right there. And then let's do another piece. Oh, goodness. Everything's sticking to me. Okay. So then this could go like maybe right there. And then I'm going to grab that gold acrylic paint. And again, I'm just going to kind of overlap it. So you don't have these papers just sitting on top. Okay. So I've got this, and then here's my gold. You know what? Actually, I have this gold acrylic ink from Liquitex. Miss Diana Willis is the acrylic ink queen, and she introduced me to this. I'm going to see if I can't kind of drizzle it on there and give it a look that I might like. Yeah, I like that. Let's see. And actually, I'm going to do the gold like that. Just kind of dot it around a couple places. So I can get gold in places that I don't have it. Okay. Now, let's hope we can do a little quick dry with this. And then just to give you an idea, actually I'm going to put some gold up here too. Just to give you an idea of what my thought process is when I'm looking at this and what I'm deciding to cover up. So I'm really loving these pieces here with the blue and the gold. I love this fabric right here. And I love the blue texture. I'm really liking that as well. So I'm not liking this. I think got this piece of wallpaper, I think got covered too much with that toasted vanilla paint that I decided I didn't like. And so I'm thinking I'm not liking that as much. And then I'm thinking I'm not liking this 100 up there as much. And so what I will do is I will take that that vintage white mixture with water, and once I do this, I will push those areas back a little bit with that watered down mix, and then we'll try to add our final touches. And again, I hope you can see, like, all the words are completely visible on this page. Now, I did used to do mixed media on in my smaller Bibles. Not a lot, though. I really didn't start with playing around with mixed media until I got the bigger illustrating Bible from Dayspring, and then my interleaf Bible. So, but I'm sure you can follow along what I'm doing here, just on a smaller scale. Might have put too much of that acrylic ink on there. Okay, let's see if I can't work with it. So we've got the mixture. And then just in those areas, kind of want to push back because I don't really like them. So push that back with the cream or vintage white. I have a tendency to call colors whatever I think they are. I don't actually call them by their names. So let's see if we can get that up there. Dry it a bit. So again, I think I'm going to speed this up because this is going to take a few minutes to dry. Okay, now that we got that dry, I'm going to grab some of the pieces I want to use. Okay. So I do want to use, obviously this came off probably an Amazon package for Christmas. And I'd like to use it as a back piece. Whoops. For this little branch that I'm going to use as part of my tree. I'm just going to staple it on there how I want it. Let's see. Come back down here. Okay. So I'll staple it there. And right there, maybe one in the middle. There we go. Okay. Thinking maybe like that. And then let's see what this top part of the tree is going to be. Do I want that on there? Maybe I just want this branch to be representative of my tree. And then I can do a title up there. Okay. So let me see. Okay, I'll figure out my title later, but I think my tree, my branch of my tree is going to go right there. And so, whoops. Put some glue on the back of this and get her down. And let's see. I do want to cover that area because I don't really care for it. Okay, and then I want to figure out my title. Have some things over here. I'm pretty sure I don't want to do white. So maybe this. Let's see if I have enough in the right letters. F-A-M-I-L-Y. So family, and then, yep, I think I do. And so it's going to say his family tree. And so I think I'm going to do his up here in the blue. And then family tree and this orangish color. So I'll be right back after I get this down to show you the final product.